Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
So Hell Is Us has just dropped its system requirements, and they're actually pretty daunting for those of us who thought our rigs were up to date. First off, let's take a look at what you'll need to run this game on minimum settings. You'll be looking at an Intel Core i7-7700K or AMD Ryzen 3 3300X, paired with either an NVIDIA GTX 1070 or AMD RX 5600 XT. That's not bad, but it's definitely not ideal for the performance you're hoping to get when playing on ultra settings at 4K. But wait, things get even better, sort of. The recommended specs for this game are way more reasonable. You'll need an Intel Core i7-11700K or AMD Ryzen 5 7600 with either an NVIDIA RTX 2080 Ti or AMD RX 6750 XT to run at 1080p on high settings with a smooth 60 FPS. Now we're getting somewhere. But what's this? The Ultra setting is supposed to be playable with an NVIDIA RTX 4090 and an AMD RX 7900 XTX. That's like asking for a miracle on a GPU that just released last year. So, what does all of this mean for the average gamer? Well, it seems that Hell Is Us publisher has announced some interesting system requirements. According to Steam, the game uses Unreal Engine 5's Temporal Super Resolution upscaling, which sounds like a fancy name for upscaling. And let me tell you, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Low settings use 50% upscaling, while ultra settings use a whopping 10%. That means that if you're running on lower settings, your game is going to look pretty mediocre compared to what the developers are aiming for. But hey, at least you'll still get some decent performance out of it. But let's not forget about DLSS, ZSS, and FSR, those fancy upscaling technologies that everyone's been talking about lately. It looks like Hell Is Us supports all three, but again, the system requirements are pretty conservative when it comes to what you need to run them. So what's the takeaway here? Well, for one, don't worry if your rig isn't quite up to snuff. The Hell Is Us team has said that these specs are just ideal and not necessarily the bare minimum. And secondly, if you're worried about running this game on lower settings, there's always the demo to test it out yourself. It's a great way to get a feel for what the game can do and whether or not your rig can handle it. So there you have it, Hell Is Us system requirements in all their glory. Not exactly the most encouraging news, but hey, at least we know what we're up against now. Stay tuned for more gaming goodness from PC Gaming Pulse.